So today I wanted to do a Q&A. I like doing, you guys know, I like doing these every like 4 to 6 weeks just because I think it's good to have like a group Q&A. Even if you don't necessarily have a question that you want to ask, it's like nice to just hear other people's questions and the responses because you may not have the question yet, but then when you do, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, we talked about that. So I think it's just a cool way to like collaborate and all be on the same page. Did anyone today come through with any questions? Yeah, go ahead, Amanda.
Okay. Well, I always have questions, but they're like more like discussion. I don't know. I
That's
was
okay.
thinking about it today and I was like, maybe I should bring this up in the call. Um, well, obviously we're all about like body positivity and I don't want to like rag on my body or anything like that, but I noticed like this freaking like I don't know if I'm just like getting older and it's like a thing, but like around my knees, I have like I don't know if it's like saggy skin or something, but it just like bothers me so much and I'm just like I feel like I'm doing like or like when I film myself and I'm walking away, I like don't like it, and I'm like, and like I don't like my legs, and I'm like, I feel like I am doing so much, and it's been like so long, and like I haven't drank this whole time, so I really thought that would do something. I don't know if it has, and I just don't know. I'm like, sometimes I feel so defeated or like down on myself, and I don't know if this is like a question.
Yeah, no, I think it's good to like open up some discussion. And I think that everyone on this call can probably point something out on our body that we're like, why is this like that? Like, why, like, can we change it? Or is it genetics? Or sorry about these crying puppies. And I don't want to like take away from the fact that it bothers you because, you know, we all have right to think whatever we want about how we look. However, I mean, some things are just like we pick at them, but like they're harmless, you know, like little quirks about ourselves. Like as human beings, we're not all going to look the same and we will have little quirks, you know, like I think we can all point out something on ourselves that we're like, really, it has to look different from everyone else's like ears or nose or like chin or elbow or, you know. I mean, in your case, if it's like really bothering you a ton, my guess would, because I haven't noticed it, so it's hard for me to be like, oh, I know what you're talking about, this is what you should do. I mean, I see your workout videos and I've never once been like, what's up with her knees? They look kind of weird. I've never noticed anything. They look like knees. But I mean, if you are saying that there's like a little bit of like a little excess like skin or something there,
Yeah, like around.
yeah, my guess would be to just focus on building your quads because when the muscle gets bigger, the skin will. But I mean, I think you have pretty strong legs. Like, I don't even know if that's what you want to do, like to grow them to the point where maybe it would make that little pudge disappear. But I mean, if it makes you feel better, I've never noticed anything. And I see all your posts and you wear shorts a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. Just like I'm like, when am I gonna be happy?
When you decide that to accept
Yeah.
all the little quirks and be like, you know what, I like these little knees. They got character, you know?
Also, I was wondering, like, what do you do when you're starting to like feel bored with this type of eating? Because just sometimes I get lazy and I'm like, okay, I just throw a bowl together. But then I don't want to like get all these sauces or anything because I would think they'd be like high in fat. I mean, I guess I can make my own. But
Yeah, and it's okay if they're high in fat because it's just a sauce. Like it's not like you're, you know, adding in tons unless you like to drench your food in the sauce, then that's one thing. But like what helps me stay consistent with food and like not get bored is I usually do rotations. So like until I'm so fed up with this particular meal, I'll eat it until I'm fed up with it. And then I rotate. And then so like I usually have like 3 different meals, like 3 groups of like 3 different meals. So maybe around like 9, maybe like 12 total. But I won't like skip around. I'll always kind of keep it to like, okay, so one day I might do like a lentil soup and then like this like that goddess bowl, the salad, I'll do that. And then sometimes I'll do like mushrooms, beans, kind of like a Buddha bowl style. And I'll just do those over and over and over and over again until I'm like, okay, I don't want it anymore. And then I switch all the meals to something else. So that's what has helped me. But does anyone else here have any suggestions on like what you do when you get bored? How do you like address that? Because there's so many ways you can address it, and everyone's methods are valid. How do you guys do it? Alicia, go ahead.
Because I eat a lot of the same things 2-3 days in a row. So I do the same thing.
Yeah, I've been eating like everything. I feel like maybe I've just been eating like the same meals from the meal plan this whole time. Like there's certain meals that I just haven't made at all. And I don't know if it's just because I'm like, I don't know what it is. Maybe I did make the like the lentil ceviche one recently. But then I almost feel like it's almost the same. It's like just what I was already doing. So I'm like, I don't know.
Alyssa, do you also have a suggestion?
I need the tips.
I feel like I've said this before, but like a while ago. The lentil ceviche one is a good example. Like I enjoy picking recipes from the ebook that are versatile, you know? So like the lentil ceviche, for example, like you can have that in a bowl, or you could have that in tacos or wraps. You could throw it on some noodles. I don't know. But like yeah, I just enjoy picking versatile recipes that you can like dress up in different ways. And to me, I feel like that kind of tricks my brain into thinking that I'm eating different food, you know?
Yeah, that's smart. I did get Ezekiel tortillas, so I could have put it in that today.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You know how like, so there's I don't know why, but I feel like sometimes on TikTok I'll get like parent TikToks, like how they like parent their kids or whatever. I don't know why they send those to me, but it's like a thing with children and even like with your pets when you buy them like a lot of toys. If you give them all their toys, they get bored of all their toys. But then when you separate them out, and let's say you have like different compartments of toys that you bring out on rotation, and then you pull the other ones back and you give them the new ones, it's almost like they're new again. Like, whoa, where did this toy go? Like they're excited all over again.
Mm-hmm.
So I encourage you to try to like have rotations of meals, kind of like what like even Elizabeth does too, because I think if you just kind of have everything, you get bored of all of it. Like, I don't want any of it now. Just a suggestion, because that's something weird like with our brains is if we kind of like, and same thing, people even do that with their clothes. They'll like put away part of their clothes and then like rotate it, and then it feels like new clothes again. Like, oh my gosh, I missed this shirt. Otherwise, you just get tired of all of your clothes. So it's something to try out, just so we like work with our brains and not against. But one thing I have really loved doing lately is playing with cashews. Like so much you can do with cashews, like so many sauces. You can make them sour, you can make them sweet, you can make them creamy, like Alfredo-y type. And you can use the sauces like in a bowl, over pasta, on a salad, like so, kind of like what Alyssa was saying too, is finding versatile things. But you can make, let's say you make a pasta one day it being like with a red sauce, one day with it being a white sauce, and then another day where you mix them and it's like a creamy red. Like it just makes it different, even though you're kind of eating the same things.
Yeah.
That's also something that keeps things a little fun, for me at least. Myrna, do you have any recommendations what you do to keep things like interesting when you're getting bored with your food?
No, I actually feel the same way as Amanda.
Okay.
Probably the reason why I'm not consistent. So, truthfully speaking, it's just.
Well, then maybe that's good advice for you too, rotating the meals.
Yeah, or like my smoothies are just like getting old, and I'm like, I got, instead of like getting a regular berry blend, I got cherries, and I'm like, this still feels the same. Like, so I'm like, I have to look through this and like figure out something else. I don't know. Or get ginger, because a lot of them have like ginger in them, and I feel like that would make them taste different, or like
You
feel
can add
more.
probiotics too. They have I know Sprouts has some vegan probiotics, and they have like blueberry flavor, apple flavor in the refrigerated section, like where the by the supplements. And there is this brand, it's called Nature's Path, I believe. And their probiotics are so delicious, and they will make your smoothie taste like Jamba Juice.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna try that.
So
then.
try that. But also like, yeah, same thing with your smoothies. Like rotate those out. Do one day do like a tropical where it's like your lighter color fruits, like your pineapple, your mango, your peaches, your strawberries, and don't do any dark berries at all. And then maybe do like a pitaya pack with some coconut water. And then the next day do like your darker berries, your cherries, raspberries, blueberries, acai pack. Like, so they're different, you know?
Yeah. I think I just get so hung up on like pineapple being my favorite fruit, so then I'm like always making a tropical one.
But now you're like, I hate it.
Have you tried the orange one on the recipe one?
I did make something similar, the orange delight, where it has like banana, oranges, dates. I think I put mango. It like tastes like a orange Julius drink. I was like
Yeah.
trying to tell my
Yeah.
boyfriend about that, and he was like, "What? What are you talking about?" I was like, they were at the mall like back in the day. I don't know.
At
Oh,
Trader
everyone knows
Joe's,
the orange Julius.
I was like, I thought this was like a thing.
at Trader Joe's, they have a frozen pack of like, I don't know, 15 frozen ginger cubes. So I
Oh,
buy
yeah.
those and just pop them in. It's like a teaspoon of ginger. You just
Here,
pop it into your smoothies.
I'm doing that. Okay. I'm feeling
Really
like
quick for those that just jumped on, we're doing just an open Q&A right now. So the question was like, what do I do when I'm getting bored of my same food? Just like, how do we mix it up? So everyone's just giving their suggestions on what to add or how to like, you know, switch things up so that way we don't go crazy. Because yeah, I mean, if you're eating the same old things, that's recipe for going insane. And also being really bitter. Like I get so bitter and I'm like, I don't want that anymore. Like, you know, on your last day of groceries when you just already ate all that stuff and you're just having like whatever's left. So, but also like if you want some help with more, so I usually try not to do like more and more and more recipes because I feel like it's usually not making it easier. It's normally just making it more complicated to add more recipes, but we can always find more recipes. Like Amanda, if you need some other ones, if any of you are like, no, really, I've had like all of these, we can add more recipes. So please let me know, like don't struggle in silence and like just be like, screw it. We can always just add more stuff. So yeah, please don't be shy to let me know like, hey, I'm struggling.
yeah, what
there's-
happened to sorry,
go ahead.
the hot girl summer ebook or something with like the
I
rest
dropped it in our group chat. You guys want me to drop it again here?
yeah, I don't think I got it.
However, the
Is
Hot
it
Girl
like-
Summer Cookbook, it's not different from the Ultimate Food Guide. There's just less recipes.
Oh, then
So a lot of the same ones are in there. It's just, yeah, not as many.
that's all right.
Sorry, my pup like has to be sitting right in between my knees here.
Now I'm like all looking through here. I'm like, which ones haven't I made?
Here we go. But yeah, that's why I wasn't like hyping it up to you all, because you're gonna look at it and be like, oh, I know these recipes.
Oh, I feel like I've been wanting to make this noodle salad, but I haven't been knowing what kind of noodles to get.
Kelp noodles are amazing. I really like kelp noodles. They're in the Asian food area, but you can also do like brown rice noodles.
Okay.
Those are easy. They also have like edamame noodles. There's a lot of different kinds now. I recommend just staying away from like the plain old like semolina noodles, because that's just regular pasta. It just doesn't give you a whole lot. But I mean, if that's all you have, like,
Ones in the Asian aisle, right? Like
mhm.
like rice noodles. Okay, I think I'm gonna do this because I also saw like this. Actually, I saw this other video today of this girl making like this summer noodle salad, and it looked really good. So I was like, maybe I'll do something like that.
Yeah, you got this. I'll
You
also
guys
look
want
up.
to know all about what I'm eating.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad we're talking about this because I think, yeah, I mean, I don't want any of you to feel like, you know, you don't really know what to do or what to eat and you don't want to say anything because you don't want to be like, well, I don't want to tell her that I'm tired of her meals. Like, no, definitely tell me. Please tell me because this is all for you. So if anything's not right or you need something, like that's exactly why I'm here. So please don't ever hesitate to tell me what you need or if there's something extra that you need. That's what, yeah. Did anyone else come through with a question or kind of just coming in to listen? If so, feel free to hop on audio.
I just came to listen. It's my first time here. So hello, everybody.
No, I'm happy to see you.
Yeah, I'm happy I wrote it down in the calendar. I was like, I'm gonna be here. So hello,
Good,
everybody.
good. Yeah, otherwise the day just gets ahead of us. And you're like, what? Oops, forgot it for the third week in a row. Well, I can go over some questions that I get asked a lot if most of you are kind of just here to listen in. Hang on, I tend to like write down the stuff that I get asked often. Hang on. I get asked a lot of stuff about digestion. And I love that because digestion is such a key part of health, but I'm trying to see what part of digestion we should talk about.
I have a question.
Oh yeah, feel free.
So I've been drinking apple cider vinegar for the last few days, like with water and lemon.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that works to help with cleaning out and with
Digestion?
burning of fat? Yeah.
Not really. I mean, apple cider vinegar, it depends because some people claim that it really helps. However, there's not really. I'm sorry, say again.
It makes you regular for sure.
Yeah, some people say that it really, really helps. But there's not a lot of like science that supports it being like a really effective part of like, well, health in general. I mean, I went through a phase for a while where I drank apple cider vinegar and then I stopped and there was really no difference. Now, again, like everyone is different. So you're wanting to use it as like a way for detox and for weight loss, correct? So with weight loss, it doesn't really do anything for weight loss specifically. However, if it helps you have regular bowel movements, I can see how that would, yeah, just you'll feel lighter. So, I mean, when it comes to like burning fat, it doesn't really do that. It might just make your digestion a little bit more efficient. If you're saying that when you take it, your just digestion's better. Which is always a good thing because sometimes we just kind of hold on to waste for too long because our digestive systems are just a little backed up or not that efficient. So if it's helping with digestion, then yeah, I would say keep doing it. It's all based on personal experience though, because there just isn't enough research that shows like, oh yes, apple cider vinegar will do this, and that. A lot of it is kind of just speculation right now. However, if you are going to do apple cider vinegar, I recommend trying it this way because this way I'm going to mention, I really loved it, made me feel awesome. Hot water, lemon, a ton of cinnamon, and then apple cider vinegar after that. It kind of tastes like a little apple cider drink, but with the cinnamon does come more so like fat burning properties.
Yeah, I've been having fun with it and making TikTok videos like day 1, day 2. It's gross.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. So I tried that yesterday. The day before I was shooting it, I shot it like a shot because I was just like, I just want this over with.
You want to be careful doing that because
I won't do it again.
Okay. It can affect your enamel on your teeth if you do it a lot. I did that for a while just to get it over with, and for like an hour I felt like I was going to throw up. It was just like, it was so bad. I
immediately rinsed with Listerine. It was a mistake.
Yeah, it's bad, and like you just feel in your throat for a while. Yeah, it's like, ugh. With natural stuff though, science doesn't always give us the answers. You know, we have to listen to our body because even with a lot of like herbal medicine, there might not be like peer-reviewed studies that say what echinacea does for this or that. But if you take it and you feel great, always lead with that. You are the master of your body. So tune in, and if it feels good and you're feeling better, then go with that. But also just be careful, because sometimes we can have like a placebo effect on ourselves and do something religiously, and we're like, oh, I think it's working because everyone says it works, but like really it doesn't, it's not really helping. So just know that like the foundational things, like staying hydrated, eating a lot of raw fruits and veggies, like leafy greens, like fruit, that's going to improve your digestion more than apple cider vinegar could. But apple cider vinegar could be maybe like a little bit of a little extra there. If you guys want to learn more about digestion, especially like when it comes as it plays along with the plant-based diet, I highly recommend a book called Fiber Fueled. The guy that wrote it is like GI expert, and he's plant-based, which I think is really awesome. Talks about all the different things that you can use to like repair your gut. So we did a whole digestion workshop recently. Do you guys want me to get you the link for that? Yeah, would that help? Because we talk about like the trio, we have the fermented foods, we have the things like broccoli sprouts, broccoli seeds, which are extremely wonderful for repairing the gut. And then there are things like the fiber that come in your fruit and veggies. All of these things are going to help create a very robust, healthy, amazing, and efficient gut. But yeah, if you're not having the easiest gut experience right now, you're bound to feel tired, to feel backed up, just not yourself. So I'll find that link to the GI training that we did, and I'll drop it in our group chat for those of you that missed it. I think even if you were there, it's still good to revisit it, because there's always a little extra we can do for our GI. But it's always going to come down to like your raw plant foods, because they have all these little tiny microorganisms that are on the skin, the peel of your plant foods, that are basically helping your gut flourish. Think of like your gut as being a garden, like we may put a lot of chemicals on our garden that kills the garden, right? Like processed food, fried food, low quality oils, stress, alcohol, just other stuff. It kills our garden, right? So then we throw in a probiotic and we're like, okay, grow garden. And it's like nothing in comparison to like this amazing garden that we had. However, when we eat a lot of plant-based foods, like in their natural form, like you're eating tomato that includes the peel and the skin, or you're eating leafy greens where you have the entire vegetable and you don't kind of extract the juice. When you're taking in all of the fiber, it's like replanting your garden. So no probiotic or any little additive can help replant your garden, aside from plant foods and other, of course, things that will help mend the gut. Sometimes we just have an overgrowth of weeds, and we can plant beautiful little seeds all we want, but the weeds are just growing way too strong and they are kicking those little flowers right out of the garden. Sometimes that can be the issue, is making sure that we are addressing, well, usually that also comes down to gut, because typically what feeds the weeds are things like stress, like alcohol, like low grade food, processed food, oils. Those are like what are feeding these weeds. So if you take away their food and you start planting positive things, you start incorporating plant-based foods, not stuff that comes from like, the freezer section or a box or a bag, then you're replanting that garden, and you're replanting a strong garden too. And then you have things like broccoli sprouts, like probiotics, prebiotics, that are just like adding that little extra love to the garden to help it grow a little bit better. But yeah, girl, if anything that helps the gut flourish, whether it be ACV or other things, if it's making you feel good, same thing with the probiotic, if it's making you feel good, keep doing it. That half hour went fast, but I hope that you guys all received even a little bit of value. I think everyone here probably could have received some tips on like how to make my food more interesting, because that's something that will always come up. Even if it's not an issue for you right this second, there will be 1,000% chance it will be a point where you're like, I'm bored. and it's good to know how to mix it up and what to do. For those of you that came in a little bit late, the recommendation for that was to cycle your food. So instead of like going into the cookbook and being like, let's see what I'll have today, I'll have this, and then the next day I'll have something different, something different, something different, something different, is like, give yourself a small group of meals and eat those until you're tired of them, until you don't want them anymore, and then rotate. Basically kick those out, start with a few new ones, stick with those until you're tired of those, and then rotate. So that way, when you come back after a few rotations to the first one, you're like, hey, I miss these, I like these, and you're not bored of them anymore. You just kind of keep the rotation going. Otherwise, if you just kind of are all over, you're going to get bored of all of it all at the same time. And you're going to be like, all right, well, I just need all new recipes now. So I hope that helps. Also playing around with sauces, dressings, making your own too is great. Like that whole, there's in the recipe book, that cauliflower Alfredo recipe, that cauliflower Alfredo sauce you can use on all kinds of things. And I did that a couple of weeks ago, just like poured it on everything. And that was really fun and really nice. Think of just like Alfredo sauce everywhere. But yeah, if you guys need more recipes, don't hesitate to ask. All right. Any last questions before we head out?
I have one that maybe you could send to me or to the group later.
Okay.
So just like the fiber fueled, and I told you I had read that Today Matters. If there's any like really good book recommendations like those, you know, health-wise, I would love to hear them.
Oh, I will drop all the recommendations. Yes.
Because that one that I read, that Today Matters, was really good.
Now, I have a lot of recommendations for books that will help you think differently. And then there are books that are science-based that are just like proving how the GI system works or how, you know, to clear skin or whatever. So do you want recommendations for all of them? Just like in general, books that I like?
No, give me your best. I have a 3 and a 6-year-old. So.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
science ones.
Okay.
But I would just want to say I have no problem with the with digestion. I'm like always pooping.
Good. That's good. Your body's like, we don't need to hold this any longer. Like a baby.
When I first started, I was so gassy all the time because like all the beans, and now it just like doesn't even phase me at all, but go so many times a day.
That's good. I'm telling you, like, think of when you see a little baby, they poop all day because, I mean, there's nothing really stopping them. They don't have, like, usually babies don't have poor digestion. So yeah, like a baby. Good. You don't want to keep that in there longer than it needs to be.
Yeah, the adding greens to the smoothie as well in the morning helps, I think. And then just making myself nervous about whatever, then I have to go.
That's too funny.
All right.
Well, thank y'all for being here. Appreciate you all. Happy to see some faces I don't always see here. So thank you for showing up. I will see y'all tomorrow for office hours at 6 o'clock Central Time. So that's 4 o'clock for a lot of you. I'll be on there for about an hour. So feel free to hop in, ask some questions if you have any. You might not since we're on here today, but if you want to ask any specific questions about like your progress, your journey at all, hop into office hours and we'll get those answered for you. So until tomorrow, bye.
Bye.